Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the Dripping Stone podcast. Ooh, that was a little hot.
Thank you.
No, like your hay was hot.
Oh.
You got hot hay.
Sorry.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the Dripping Stone podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
You are Kyle.
Hot Kyle.
Is that your nickname in high school? College.
Just present day.
I wondered why when we were out last week together, people kept yelling at you.
What up, HK?
Yeah, that's exactly what they were saying. I was like, what? HK? And you're like, don't worry about it. But
That's
now
Hot Kyle.
I was worried.
Yeah.
Like your alter ego, HK.
HK, yeah.
But I understand it now.
Yep.
I don't want to tell you what I thought it meant. I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell everybody else. So I'm going to edit that out. What I thought HK meant was...
That's how words are invented.
Kyle, before we get any further into this nonsense,
Yep.
I say we invite all of our friends to have a pour of something special along with us. What do you think?
Yeah, or even not special. Just, something.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah. Whoa.
Coffee?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Water?
Creamer.
Coffee creamer?
Just a little half and half. Shot of half and half.
Gross.
Yeah.
How many shots of half and half are you drinking?
Oh, man. A little half and half. Half and half. Equal parts half and half in Mountain Dew. That'll get you right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're serious.
Yeah.
Hold on. Half and half.
Half and half.
So I've got just to clarify.
Yeah.
I have a measuring cup. It's a full measuring cup.
Yeah.
I pour half a cup of half and half.
Yeah.
And half a cup of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I reverted to the equal parts. If you want to do it like as a shot, you can do it as a shot. If you want to do it as a full 16-ounce pour, you can do that also.
8 ounces.
But just equal parts, half and half in Mountain Dew.
Are you okay?
I mean, don't knock it. But I'm just saying, I've never had this. Just saying, if somebody, if that is their
going
thing,
like, what are you talking?
if
Like,
that is their thing, absolutely pour one up right now.
okay.
And enjoy it while you listen to this
I
episode.
feel better now that this is not something that you would do, but that you would condone other people doing if they like the thing that they're doing.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I like when people do?
What?
When they support Dripping Stone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You can support Dripping Stone by rating this podcast wherever it is you find other great podcasts.
Absolutely you can.
You can support Dripping Stone by telling someone about Dripping Stone.
Yep.
Like that guy who's pouring half and half Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Hey, buddy.
Half and half.
Have you heard about Dripping Stone? Because they clearly know about that grossness you're pouring together.
Yeah. Sure have.
It's the mouth noises. I know that people are already having trouble with my voice, but like you can stop right now, sir. Finally, you can financially support Dripping Stone through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/DrippingStone.
Yeah, you can.
Before
or after.
God. We're less than 5 minutes in and things are just going awry.
That's okay. Speaking of ryes.
We're having a whiskey.
Yeah.
It's not a rye whiskey, though.
I have some rye in it.
Maybe.
You never know.
Kyle, this week we have a special-ish bottle.
Special-ish is good.
This is a bottle from the Limestone Branch Distillery.
Okay.
It is the Yellowstone brand.
Okay. The Yellowstone brand from the Limestone Branch.
The Limestone Branch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Limestone Branch is nowhere near Yellowstone.
And limes are not yellow.
And they're not, well, I guess
Stones.
they do grow on branches.
Right.
Right. The Limestone Branch Distillery is located in Lebanon, because it's probably not Lebanon. It's probably
Lebanon.
Kentucky.
Lebanon.
Yeah. Do you know why the Yellowstone brand is called Yellowstone?
Nope.
Do you notice the date on the Yellowstone brand?
1872.
Do you know what else was founded in 1872?
Was it Yellowstone National Park?
It was Yellowstone National Park. So
There you
Yellowstone
go.
National Park and the Yellowstone Bourbon, they share a birthday. And the Yellowstone, from what I can tell, the Yellowstone Bourbon was branded Yellowstone because there was like, a fervor for the park. So like, we'll just name our bourbon Yellowstone. Like, hopefully it'll get sales.
You're telling me that Yellowstone bourbon has been around since 1872?
That's what I found.
I don't believe it. That surely that is an issue of there was a brand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we revitalized it.
Oh,
It's got to be one of those situations.
I think that's what I'm not saying like this has been continuously distilled
right
since 1870.
at the Limestone Branch Distillery.
Yeah, It's possible. It does say 7th generation family distillers.
Well, yeah, because
We're distilling other places
my great granddaddy
Yeah.
used to make bourbon
in the woods,
that
Kentucky.
that we are now also making, just like he did at this place, and we're going to call it this.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm going to read some bottle words while you're doing some
Okay,
looky up.
Looky.
After more than 150 years of bourbon heritage, it's still important to keep things fresh. To do so, we've embarked on a new expedition, the Special Finishes Collection. Beginning with our Yellowstone bourbon mash bill that's been perfected over generations, we experiment with various finishes, each bringing a unique perspective to our more traditional bourbon profile. And much like our national parks, no two are alike. I hope you enjoy this latest venture. There's always another just around the corner. Stephen B. Beam, the founder and master distiller.
Beam,
you say.
you say.
And Stephen Beam, Kyle, is of the Jim Beam family.
Okay.
But Jim Beam, the brand, doesn't own any part of Yellowstone. I guess they have an interest in that. The Beam brothers, Stephen and Paul Beam, who founded Limestone Branch in Lebanon, Kentucky. So yes, this is a brand that was purchased by them. So they can say that it's been around since 1872.
Right.
But it's not, because they bought it in 2010.
There you go.
Anyway, or they founded it in 2010. They are of the Beam family. So there is a connection there.
Yeah.
But Yellowstone has been owned by several companies, including our old friends Diageo.
Currently or no?
No, it's owned by Limestone Branch now. So they must have purchased the rights to Yellowstone, the label. But it is the label, from what I can understand, has been around since 1872. And a portion of every bottle sold apparently goes to support Yellowstone National Park. I don't know what that portion is. It might be like, a tenth of a percent.
A hay penny. A hot hay penny. Wikipedia's throwing me some knowledge. Who knows if it's real. But founded in 1872.
Okay.
In 1920, Yellowstone was produced by James Thompson and Brothers.
Okay.
And that was one of the 6 allowed to continue bourbon production during Prohibition for medicinal purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
It says that it was then bought by Glenmore.
Okay.
In the 40s. And it says in the 60s, Yellowstone was the largest selling brand in Kentucky.
Interesting.
I mean, that sounds hard to believe.
Water.
But anyway, Thompson family maintained control up until the 90s. Then it was acquired by Guinness.
Diageo. Yep.
Yeah. And then in 2010, Paul and Steve Bain
bought it for the Limestone Branch
for $5.
Well, there you go.
So, I mean, a stronger connection to that 1872 number than I
originally
thought that it was.
Yeah.
But still, hot and interesting. Just like you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're not doing the original Yellowstone. We are doing the Yellowstone, the special, as I already read, the Special Finishes Collection. This is a rum cask finish.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we've done a Yellowstone before, one that you had.
I did have a barrel pick.
Yes.
Bottle.
I don't know if we did.
Barrel, maybe.
I don't know if we did on an episode.
I don't know if we did or not.
I think we had it and we're like, yeah, okay.
If we go way back,
yeah,
I feel like we did a whiskey, not a pairing, but a whiskey tasting on a boat one time.
And Yellowstone was
featured Yellowstone.
Interesting.
And then I got back from that trip and then was on the lookout and then bought a bottle of Yellowstone because it was like a local eatery was doing a barrel pick,
that's right,
single barrel kind of a situation, and they had some and I signed up and got a bottle of it. But yeah, I don't know if we ever made that.
I don't know if it did.
I don't feel like that ever made an episode.
So this is the rum cask. Mash bill is 75, 13 rye, 12 MB.
Okay.
But then what they do, after they age it for 4 years in American oak barrels, so it's a 4-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and then they chuck it in some rum casks for 9 weeks. So it's been sitting in the rum for a couple, 2 months, basically 2 months and a little bit.
Yep.
So it's been sitting in there, kind of marinating in that rum nature.
Yeah.
And we're going to try it.
Garnishing off some of that extra sweetness, probably.
Probably.
Some of that rum sweetness.
You want to open it and pour it for us?
Yeah, all right.
Please. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. That's a great sound.
Heavy pours.
Heavy pours.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We got to get rid of it.
It sounded so good.
It did sound good.
Kept pouring.
Oh, you want to know the best part about this?
What's that?
That's that 100 proof right there.
Yeah. I was wondering if it might have been bonded
I don't.
before it went into the rum cask.
Oh, you caught me.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be. I was going to correct it. Yeah. It might be.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was looking at it. I was like, I mean, if you're saying it was 4 years and it's 100 proof,
yeah,
I wonder if it might have actually been bonded before they put it into that rum cask. Pregnant pause.
Yeah.
Pretty color.
Yeah.
On the lighter side, once you actually get it in the glass,
Golden honey.
orange blossom honey.
Ooh, there it is.
Yeah.
Ooh, on the nose. It's sweet.
Yeah, it is really sweet.
You know, having had a lot of bourbon lately, I know that we talked about this in a previous episode. Bourbon is definitely a different kind of sweet than other whiskeys. I'm not saying it's sweeter, but it's a different kind of sweet.
Sure.
And I think the bourbon sweet and the rum sweet go well together in that most rums and most bourbons exude that like dark sweet.
Yeah.
That like, that brown sugar, molassesy kind of thing.
Yep.
And this is no different.
Yeah. This has got it accentuated by some oak tanniny bitterness on the nose.
Oh yeah. Proof is nice too.
Yeah.
Get a cherry note?
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's very classic-y bourbon.
Yeah.
Touch of rye. I get it on there.
Yeah, and it's the piney rye.
Yep.
It's not the cinnamony rye.
Pine rye.
It's a nice nose.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a bit of you said tanniny funk might be right. Not like gym sock, but like basement. There's a bit of I feel like some rums can do that. You know what I mean? Like there's a bit of a danky note, yeah. Once you kind of parse out that like slight funk, I still like the nose is great.
It's a really good nose. It's really sweet.
Really sweet.
And it's almost I don't want to say artificial, but it's like
saccharine.
It's pushing that candle. It's almost, it just feels too much.
Yeah.
But like I don't get anything like malty nature. I don't get anything grainy really. It's just a lot of like different sweet things.
Yep. All right, shall we?
Okay.
And that's what the palate is too.
Yeah.
Huh.
It doesn't taste like 100. It tastes like 80.
I was going to say the same. And I think the reason why is because the 100 cuts the sweet. And because it's so sweet. To me, it's very sweet on the palate.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
But the 100,
that's it.
Yeah, that's really all you get. The 100 brings the sweet down so that the 100 doesn't feel like 100 anymore.
Like it's
that's
all
a guess. I don't
sweet
know that.
And like some sort of a weird minty thing, like not peppermint, but like
menthol,
maybe like a touch like cinnamony.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in that realm. It's not for me.
It's very one note. Very one note.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I expected the proof to give me some wiggle room with that sweet note. Like I expected it to be sweet. I knew it was going to be sweet, but I expected the proof to play some different notes here, and just it's not.
Yeah, and there's something too. Like I mean, it is one note, and then like eventually there is a really weak barrel note thing that happens at the end that like sadly just kind of reminds me of like a stave kind of situation. I don't know, that Oak and Eden's what's jumping out at me. Like just like anytime I've had anything that's like feels like it's trying to be oaky and woody, but it's like it doesn't seem natural for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird aftertaste.
Yeah, it's on the exhale and it's on the like the back sides of my tongue. And like it's holding on, and I can't quite place it, but I think you're right. It's that like fake wood. It's not finished. Like I recognize it is a finished product. Right. But I mean like it needed more time, or maybe it needed less time in the rum, or maybe it wasn't a good rum to begin with. I don't know, but it doesn't meld as much as I would hope it would. Yeah. The nose is so much better.
It's an okay nose.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's an okay nose, and the nose is so much better.
Yeah.
But when the nose is that much better, I think it would make a good cocktail. I think it'd make a good old fashioned, because you already got some of the sweet in there. I don't think you need to add a whole lot of sweet. I would be worried if that weird funky note though, like would come forward, but I think it would make a decent old fashioned. I think it might also make, they suggest actually on their website that you make a rum runner. Like basically you make a rum runner, but with this instead of rum. So like You use pineapple juice. You use, grenadine, blackberry juice, and this, and some lime juice.
So what's weird is like I don't, other than like just like it is sweet, but I don't really even like associate the sweetness with like a rum sweetness.
I don't disagree.
Interestingly enough, it is sweet enough that yes, like it probably could stand up to like being treated like a rum. That added sweetness is going to come through and be present in just about like any kind of like a rum run or Mai Tai kind of a situation.
Sure.
But I don't know, like it just doesn't have like the rum nature. So I feel like I dare say I'd be disappointed.
I agree. I know what it's missing. It's missing complexity. There's no complexity. Like with a good rum and a good, dark, not even a dark rum, but just like a good, well-made rum, you're going to have a lot of natural complexity because it is a very natural product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just, to me, it's that pine aspect that's coming through that is like completely not rum.
Yes.
Like that doesn't associate at all to rum for me. Like in a cocktail, I would throw this at like a Boulevardier.
Okay.
Because it's already, it's got that, like I said, that weird bitterness at the end, but it's got enough sweetness that like, I think that would pop through over like a Campari and vermouth. And I think it would be noticeable.
Yeah.
In a Boulevardier. If I were trying to treat it like a rum, I think I would be disappointed because it's not rum.
See, but I think
like I want those drinks because they're rum drinks, and I want that rum quality.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think though that like unless you're well versed in what that rum quality is and like what that is neat,
right?
Most people, this would be hidden behind lime juice and all these other fruity flavors that like it's going to mix right in.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Agreed.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not
going to be something that I'm going to gravitate towards, but I don't hate it.
But it is just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not bourbon-y enough, and it's not rummy enough. It's just somewhere like the lesser of like the sum of its parts kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's neither.
Yeah. It's just somewhere in the middle of just like, yeah, but I don't know that you got the good qualities of either.
And if you're going to call it rum cask, it needs to be more rummy. And it's not, I think it is decently rummy on the nose, but on the palate, I think you're right. Now that I'm like, we've sat for a minute, I've edited some things out. It's the rye note.
That rye throws it.
Yeah. It throws it. I'm not saying pump up the corn, but maybe pump up the MB or move the rye off to the side.
Or just pull it out.
Or just take it out completely, yeah. But make that rum more pronounced.
Yeah, and I think that would do it.
Yeah.
That for some reason, that rye is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Pretty pungent.
It is.
And it kicks through, and it's just like that's never anything that I ever get out of rum, so it's just like, interesting idea.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what the Drep and Stone community thinks about it, because I know that this is a pretty readily available bottle. Like you can go into most liquor stores and find Yellowstone rum cask. So I'd like to know what they think.
Yep. So
I saw this thing the other day as I was kind of just doing a bit of doom scrolling, which I fall in those traps every once in a while. Like I think I'm pretty decent at preventing myself from doing that because I'd like to think I'm a little bit aware of it. But I fell into one the other day. But this was a good doom scroll session because I found something that kind of spoke to how I'm feeling in my work life. Okay, and the post was of somebody taking a picture of a page of a book and highlighting it and like doing some scribbling and writing on it, like read this and like best advice kind of thing. It's the idea of taking time and decompressing from your workday before you transition into your home life. And so I'm going to read this to you. After a day of stress and pressure at the office, most of us arrive home cranky, tired, and dispirited. We gave the best we had to our colleagues and customers, and sadly, we have nothing left for the people we love the most, our spouses, children, and friends. Like gladiators who have just completed the battle of their lives, we wearily walk to our favorite easy chair and order family members to leave us alone until we regain our composure. Taking 10 minutes to decompress before you walk through the front door of your home will help you to avoid making the scenario a part of your daily routine. Rather than leaving work, driving home, and rushing into your house, I recommend that you spend a few minutes sitting alone in your car while parked in the driveway. Use this time to relax and reflect on what you'd like to accomplish during the next few hours with your family.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I didn't write it.
I kind of like to know when it was written.
This excerpt comes from a book called Who Will Cry When You Die? And it's by the Canadian Indian writer Robin Sharma. Sharma, I think.
Shawarma?
No, not shawarma.
I love shawarma.
I love shawarma too.
Delicious.
It was first published in 1999.
Okay. Sounds like it's of that age.
I think,
like a pre-social media world.
I think so, but I needed to hear that.
Okay.
I like what's being said here for several reasons, because I think for me, especially in like the job that I have, it's a very emotionally draining job. Like a lot of people don't think of the emotional toll that jobs take on you.
Right.
I think like dealing with a lot of personalities and dealing with a lot of, different wants and needs and things like that. Like it's a very emotionally draining job. So in a lot of ways I get home, and if I don't take the time to decompress, to just kind of leave that stuff there, then I do take it home and I'm angry.
I'm still on edge.
I'm still on edge. I'm combative, and I feel it, and I never get a respite from that.
Right.
So then it just carries over into the next day.
Yeah.
So I found myself being very intentional, and we go back to that idea of intentionality, being very intentional with that decompression, because so much of my just kind of default setting is intellectualism in some ways, of like, just I want to knowledge and intellectual, and I want to talk, and I want to discuss, and I want to think about things, where like I find myself needing to, I don't want to say just like do something mindless, because it's not that, but needing to like reset on the drive home. So I'm also in some ways advocating for, as much as I don't like my drive home, which is about 25 to 30 minutes, I think that is necessary for that decompression. I don't agree with like sitting in my driveway for 10 minutes.
Right.
But like that idea of like parsing through the day and then like leaving it.
Yeah. And you have a specific job that it's difficult to do that. Like,
yeah,
when I had a similar job, like
the similar job,
it was like, that's what I always say of that job, is that's a job that you don't ever get a full release from. Yeah. That it's always on your mind. You're always thinking about it. You're always, how can tomorrow be better? What do I need to do to make tomorrow be more successful? And it's just really hard to fully get away from it.
Yeah.
It's always right there in the back of your mind. Whereas like my job is the exact opposite. Like the minute I walk out of there, I don't need to think about it until the next time I walk in.
Yeah.
And it's
that'd be nice.
Yeah. It is a different thing. But for people in that scenario where it is hard to leave it at work, like absolutely, like I can see like being that purposeful in giving yourself those few minutes to decompress and just, okay, the work day is done. Let's not bring that into the house.
Even in your scenario, do you find yourself having to go from work mode to Kyle mode? Like work mode to home mode, in terms of like not necessarily like bringing anything from work home with you?
I don't think so, just because like the nature of my job is like, once the job is kind of complete, the job in and of itself has a time period of decompression.
Sure.
And then there is the drive home. Like my job builds up to a crazy few hours of chaos, and then it slowly decompresses. And then
so it's
there's
built in.
A solid hour of just like, okay, we did it. We got through it. And then there is still the drive home, so that by the time I'm home, I'm well done with it. And it's in the past.
Do you think though that decompression, whether it is a kind of an emotionally draining job like mine, or maybe a little bit less so like yours, do you think that is necessary to reflect on one's day and do that, though I need to leave that there?
I mean, again, when I was in that job, absolutely. Like it was a much more difficult process to completely be done with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like there were certainly times where like you just couldn't. Mm-hmm. You couldn't completely leave it alone. Because like there's something that you need to do in preparation for the next day. So you're gonna have to do that later on tonight anyway. And so that's just going to nag at you until you do it. Like, oh yeah. Like it was just, if you're in that situation, absolutely, you have to kind of like be mindful of it and be more intentional of creating a space that is removed from it, or it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, what I'm drawn to as well by that small excerpt is the hustle culture of America. And I think it's, American specific in some ways, but like I'm always working. I'm not turned off. You can reach me whenever. If you need me, call me. I've always got my phone on. Like just give me a shout and I'll help you. And I think the older I get, the more damning I feel that is. Because there is not a removal and a separation of work you and you.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mean to like sound disingenuous or like to create this idea that like I am two separate people, but I think that's just how we work.
Right.
Like we kind of need to bifurcate our personalities in some way of like, now this is Kyle at work and this is Kyle at home.
Right.
I see more people doing the hustle, or everything I do is about a social media post, or everything that I do is trying to build my brand,
right.
or everything I do. It's not just because, I'm playing with my kids, but I'm playing with my kids so that I can make this video of them swinging on the swing set and like, look at me being a good parent kind of
right.
thing. Versus
like the ones you see of like people who are like having like an emotional moment with something. They're
God.
Like, but I need to be recording myself so I can show this emotion. Like,
yes. I feel just gutted for that person.
Right.
But not because of the thing that you're saying that like is making you cry. Like that is a thing.
Right.
Literally just the other day, like watching this woman who was talking about someone in her immediate family died and like just what a crushing experience that was. But like, I wasn't gutted for her family member dying. I was gutted that she felt the first thing she needed to do was to jump on her phone to make a social media post about this.
Right.
Like she's like, this was, she made it seem as if this was a very fresh loss. Like within the last like 10 minutes kind of fresh loss. And that could have been like just a complete BS thing for sure.
Right.
But the way she made it sound was like so-and-so just died. Like they literally, I just left the hospital room and like, that's your first inclination.
Yeah. It's like, I need to document this.
And not only just that, but I need to document it and then
Sure.
put it on the social internet.
Yeah. That's not where I ever want my mind to need to be at, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which I'm a more like insular person anyway. That would never be my gut reaction to anything. Cause I've always been so much more like thoughtful in terms of like what my outward expression about any given situation is anyway. I give that way too much thought where I would ever want to be like what, raw.
Like what do other people perceive my reaction to this thing is?
Yeah. Like I would never want to be that like, I guess just like visible.
Sure.
Not my thing.
Yeah. I love little moments like that where social media gives me like the thing that I actually needed or the thing that I needed to read and like causes the right kind of pause for me.
Right.
Of like the, you're just scrolling through this crap, but like, oh, here's something that you actually might be interested in. And not that like, I haven't thought about those things before. Not that like I knew of that, but like that reminder of, hey, take a second before you walk in this door, breathe. Right. Or before you go into this. And I think that's true in any scenario. Before you go into this next scenario, be intentional, breathe, think through this. What are you going to do? Versus like guns ablazing. Let's go in and just like, we're done, or let's go in and like figure this out.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's why we're so susceptible to the doom scroll.
Yeah.
Is that like doom scroll can give you something to laugh about, something to think about, something to turn you on, something to inspire you all within.
It had to piss you off.
5 minutes. Oh yeah. And to absolutely just like make you like livid.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes.
Maybe even less. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's why it's so like, cause you know,
intoxicating.
Like, and not that you're like searching for those other things. You're looking for that inspiration or thoughtful thing. And you absolutely love those things. And that's why you're doing it. But at the same time, like the other things will naturally happen also.
Yeah.
And it is like just such a addiction.
It is. It's intoxicating. It really truly is.
I mean, I think about it like, like that quote being written from the 90s. That wasn't a thing.
But now
you didn't have to deal with that kind of stuff back then.
Well, and
in
now
such a different way.
Exactly. Like how many people like my decompression is the doom scroll?
You're right. Yeah.
And it's like, but that's not what this thing is talking about.
Yeah, no, it's actually quite the opposite.
Yeah,
the doom scroll is actually jacking you up. Like it's energizing you, and
or
I guess it can be. I mean, like, I don't know.
Well, you got anything else?
On that high note,
you got anything else?
I've got some more whiskey left, but
I do too.
It may just stay there.
Well, I'm not pouring it back in the bottle.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not pouring more out of the bottle either.
Man, like what a pour, like straight to the label.
I know.
Yeah, Yellowstone. It's a popular brand.
It is.
But I have to say, like, I don't know that I've ever had one that I was just like,
wow,
incredible.
I always pass it up.
I do too.
That's actually on the label. Yellowstone. Nick always passes it up.
Nick passed this up.
Yeah, except for this bottle, which was donated.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Well, you can tell us what you think about the Yellowstone Special Finish Collection, if you so choose to.
Or tell us the version of Yellowstone that you've had that did knock your socks off.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'd also love to know, what do you think about this idea of decompressing before you walk into your home? Like, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah. Or just the separation between work and home.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is that? Is that a difficult transition for you, or is you got a good hold on it right now?
Yeah. Or are you someone who just like, there is no separation? You literally, like, you're working from home.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And I'd love to know that too, which we didn't really touch on. Like, what about those people that work from home?
Yeah.
Like, you're home all the time. So, like, how do you create that work-life balance, to buzzword it, if you will?
Yep, that buffer.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word, Drep and Stone, DREP and Stone. Come find us and socialize your media along with us.
Yeah, go find one of those pairing videos. We're probably going to go make one right now.
Yeah, go doom scroll through that.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to love it. It's going to be fun.
That'll be a great hour of your day. Just
easy.
Good stuff.
We've already told you how you can support the podcast. So if you need that, again, just go back to the start of the episode and listen for about, a minute or so. And that will then trigger all the good stuff of, like, you've listened to the episode twice and you get all the good information.
All the stuff you need.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
On that note, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your ass never show. Unless you wanted to. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.